My name's Nigel Mahoney. I'm the head brewer here at Cassels and Sons Brewery in Woolston. We've sustained some pretty heavy damage in the earthquake, and I guess that's potentially a sad thing for the craft beer drinkers around Christchurch and around New Zealand. We've got fermenters that are twisted piles of steel in there, and beer leaking out, gas. You can hear gas leaking out now. This is the brew room, which is just full of liquefied shitty silt. It's going to take ages to take ages to clean all this up, and at the moment we've got no water supply. We've got this pile of twisted steel and steel that's rated to hold tons and tons, and it's just been completely bent. We've got an exploded gap filler over everything here. It obviously hit a tank. We've lost welding equipment and cleaning equipment. This ladder here, which is absolutely twisted and broken, was up there just minutes before, checking on the fermentation. Well, we've got four brews lying on their side. One of them is still in its tank. In fact, it's a beer that started off at 5.6% and it's still fermenting. It's going to end up being quite dry, but it's going to get pretty close to 6.3, which is quite ironic. We've just been working so hard to get to this point.
I'm Eli. I'm Nigel's brewing assistant. I was underneath the fermenters basically, sorting out the elderberries for our next brew. Then I got up to wash my hands, and the earthquake struck and I was out of there. I was right here basically, just getting the elderberries off their stalks, just sorting them ready for our next brew. Then hands covered in elderberries. So I got up, walked out that way to wash my hands. I was about halfway out, then everything started shaking. I could hear the earthquake coming with all the glass bottles shaking and stuff. So I just bolted, fell over a couple of times, got a couple bruises, cuts up my arm. Luckily I got out though, so as you can see, wouldn't have been a very good look if I was still under there.
It was hard before the quake we were sort of approaching a level that was sustainable, and we had about getting up to about 40 outlets at the time of the quake, and most of them are gone. If you think about it, this side of town was where we operate the best. Littleton and Sumner, kind of our best selling outlets are there. We had 10 in Littleton alone, and all of them are gone. Worst of all, these buildings are probably all written off, and that was what we had that was special. We had heritage, beautiful old brick buildings.
Here's our brew pub, 130-year-old building. Almost a week ago, it got absolutely nailed in a severe earthquake. This here was our site of our English pub. We had a resource consent to develop this building here as an old English bar. As you can see, we're going to have to rebuild it.
They're talking about just pushing heritage buildings over.
We won't be doing that. We'll make it strong as any building in town, and we'll preserve it. Our vision is to have a brew bar in there that no one else has ever seen, and we're still sticking with that.
Is it going to be possible?
Yes, it is.
What makes you so confident?
Because we've got the spirit to do it.
I guess I'm really thankful. I'm thankful that we're all still here.
Yeah, we're pulling together as a family group really. Glad everyone's got out unharmed. Some of our houses are kind of broken in.
And we do want to stay alive. We want to grow and continue to have our brewery, make beer, sell beer, just like we always have.
We'll be brewing beer next week.
Good.
The fermenters are broken, but we'll patch them up.
We'll get there. We'll rebuild and we'll come back.
Do you think, as a city, we'll make it back?
We will. We have to. Christchurch will be different. It'll be busier. It'll be more prosperous. It'll be smaller. We'll still be here.